Okay, so we are beginning of the 8th perek. Rameir Omer. Anybody who learns Lishma merits many things. Well, not only this, the entire world is worthwhile for him. Nikra Rea, Ahuv, he's called a friend, beloved. This is also a mission of us. Ohevas HaMokam, Ohevas HaBrios. Hashem loves creatures. The Sameachas HaMokam is Sameachas, it makes them happy. Mabashto Anavah, because year up. He gets full of humility and awe. Now, of course, we see many people learn Torah who do not accomplish these wonderful advantages. So that's why there's an emphasis here on learning Torah and Shema. Okay, so evidently, if we don't get these advantages, then we're not learning Torah and Shema. Marshaitu Yos Tzadik, it prepares to be Tzadik Chassid Yashar v'Ne'eman. Marchakto min hachet, mekarvato l'schus. And we can benefit if we ask this person's advice and his counsel. That actually is the actual true concept of Das Torah, is that Talmid Chacham has insight which can give him greater Eitzav Sushia.
Okay.
Not just that, Bino Gvura. Shneimar li Eitzav Sushia ani Bino li Gvura. Presumably it's about Kodesh Baruch Hu, but applies to the person who learns Torah. No sentence for Malchus Memshala. That's those things. Then also Kedula Choker Din is able to analyze the law in depth. Megayim min hashamayim rosi Torah. From heaven, the secrets of the Torah. Naskim Mayan Shein is like a fountain that does not cease. It's much more in Perek Avos says. The Gnar is Gaba like a river which is getting mightier as it goes. Heavy, period. Okay, now it's kind of shift gears. Heavy tzanua. Be humble, varech ruach, and be calm. Forgive your insults. So that seems the heavy seems to be out of place. Rabbi Chaim tries and makes it more in place. Says mitoch ezetayet tzanua because os. So it's like yet tzanua, right? Or I'll just take the word heavy out, right? It makes you tzanua, and orech ruach and calm, and we can forgive your insults. Al gadlos amaramoso, al kol masim kulam. He becomes superior to all other creatures, which is ironic because we just said he's supposed to be sanua and onav and sanua, right? So megalto maramam so obviously means not that he has, and for that matter we said previously melucha memshola, right? So obviously it means that it's possible to be a leader with arrogance, possible to be a leader with humility. So if the person learns Torah Lishma, he'll be a leader and he'll be lifted up, but he won't be immodest or arrogant. So I think that I said to one of my classes this year, I said, I know I'm the most knowledgeable person in the building, but it doesn't make it. Do I treat you like I'm far superior to everybody else? And I said, of course, no, you don't. So that's really is what I believe. That's what anova is. To know that you are not the most knowledgeable person in the building, which is not hard in elementary school, and to still be humble about it. Treat everybody as if you don't know everything. Okay, you could disagree if you want.
No, okay. This is all fine so far.
Okay. This is a Gemara Brachos. A voice comes out from the Har Sinai. Marches Omeres and proclaims and declares, woe to the creatures that they insult the Torah. Anybody who doesn't learn Torah on a regular basis, Nikon Nazir is called rebuked. It says, Nezem Zabav Chazir. They like a golden ornament in the nose of a pig is Isha Yafa V'Tzaras Tam, is a beautiful woman who has no mental capacity. So you look at the Rabbi Chaim here, it says, Habrios Mechane B'Loshen Akeva. So the people are described here as, in a metaphor, as female. Isha Yafa, a beautiful woman, Shesarim Mitam Shel Torah, but they forsake the the reason of Torah. Shenim hogim b'tadiyas, they don't learn it regularly. I raise them l'nezeb zav b'av chazir. It's like a golden ornament in the nose of a pig. Shenim shamro, he doesn't. The pig does not safekeep that ornament. Elach v'nover bash, but he goes and burrows into the refuse. Afabrios nesafim Torah, gave them Torah v'enim hogim ba. They don't think in it. Actually, mishakim masot, so they forget it. It's like a pig. Who people separate themselves from. Amo kim nude kari lekra. It's like he's in nidui, excommunicated. Okay, the next passage says, "Omer luchos maaselukim hema." The luchos are were the handiwork of Hashem. By michtav elokim, and the writing was the writing of Hashem. Who charus, it was engraved on the luchos. Charus el cherus, also famous Gemara. She'ein lechad ben chorin el misha oisik v'torah. Ben chorin is only somebody who learns Torah. So ben chorin really doesn't mean free. It means aristocratic or noble. So to be a real aristocrat or nobility, you have to learn Torah. Okay, so then, but even if it's the pshat is freedom, even if translate is freedom, it means that a person can only think objectively and be free of all sorts of ulterior motives and incorrect perceptions if he is learned in Torah. Anybody who learns Talmud Torah, gets uplifted. From the giving of the Torah. Nachliel, he goes up to God, gives him a nachla, a portion of the Torah. Nachliel, once he has a portion of the Torah, Vamos, he rides up to the heights.
Right, that's this week's portion, at least here.
Yeah, there, right. That's true.
Hang on. Sophie, out. Go on. Sorry.
Okay, B'chol Lomed, Michaver perek echad halacha achas. Aben learns from his friend one perek or even one halacha. I feel pasuk echad, but I feel os achas ketana. Even a small letter. That's interesting. Yeah, well, it's interesting. A big letter, a small letter. Okay. Certainly not about cover. You have to treat him with respect. You only learn two things. So Rabbi Alufo, when he said he addressed him as my Rebbe and my master. Alufo nowadays means a general, but I think it originally means it means a leader of some sort. Then it says, you are a person of my value, seemingly of the same background, but Alufim Yudai, you are my Aluf and my Yudah, which means to say that you are somebody who taught me knowledge. So it's very Kavachomer. So it's a Kavachomer Ma. Melech Yisrael Shlama Mechiteva Elo Shnei Dvarim. They'll learn from him two things. Gemara explains what they were. I'll explain here. Pro Rabo, Balufo, I think Yudah is the same thing as Rebbe. Alome Chaver Perek Echad Alocha Echad Pasuk Echad Dover Echad Afil Os Achas Alachas Kama Kama Shtzarch Linag Bo Kavod. Well, it's a little bit strange because you learn from Achitov two things. So how do you learn out even Os Achas? But I guess the two things are because he was David Melech Yisrael. So therefore, if he learned only one thing, perhaps he didn't have to have as much respect. But he learned two things, and then he had much respect. And a commoner should have respect even for less. Vein covered Torah. Covered is Torah. It says in the comprised says Rav Elkai. It's not going on David Nachitov because their covered was literally covered. Elachi Kamras means say Enko Baladam Elis Ketor. True covered comes to a person by being involved in Torah. Then it says Kavod Chachomim Micholu. The honor of the sages they would inherit with Tmimi Michalu Tov, and the people who are whole in their relationship with Hashem will inherit good. Vein Tov El Torah. Tov is defined as Torah. Shema Kilekach Tov Nasati Lachem Torah Siyata Azovu. That is like a Torah is called a Lekach Tov. On the other hand, there's a lot of other stuff. Kachi darka shel Torah. This way of Torah. Pass the milk, tochal. Drink water with with salt. A minus tishta and drink water in a graduated cylinder. I never understood why exactly the Masorah, which is a measuring cup, is used that is how to describe how to drink water. I guess maybe
it's a graduated cup.
Yeah, it has like markings on the side.
I guess because you're careful of how much you have, so you're going to be careful how much you drink.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that because they have to drink X amount of ounces a day. I don't know. Anyway, you sleep on the ground and live a life of difficulty. The Torah to Omer and Torah Shrecha, you praise for thee, Tov L'cha, and it's good for you. Shrecha b'Lamazeh, Tov L'cha b'Lamabah. Asveis Gudula, do not look for greatness. The Chaim explains by the Pasamach Tocha, he says, "Afil ein lo ladem or Pasamach." You don't have to dafka have bread with salt, but that's only have ein lo kar v'kes lishan loretz. Only you don't have a pillow and a mattress. Lishan el loretz al yim nam nasav. If you have to do it, still do it in order to. Asveis Gudula doesn't mean not to seek greatness in Torah, or the dopachar Torah, to look for a position of power or influence or honor. Do not desire honor. Do not. Tachmod means
covet.
Covet, right? And Rabbi Chaim adds, the covet riskabei b'torasecha. Don't take covet in your Torah. I guess even in your Torah should take covet. Yosem say more than you learn, you should do. Says Rabbi Chaim, Yosem Mashlamata, I say Maasim Tomi Mitzvos. So you should do deeds and mitzvos above and beyond. Do not be desirous of the table of kings, which is every elaborate and ornate table. Your table is greater than their table. And your crown is greater than their crown. And trustworthy is your employer that is going to pay you the reward for your activities.
Almost all of this is straight out of Pirkei Avot.
Yes, true. Gedola Torah min ha-kahuna, min ha-malchus. So it's greater than kahuna and malchus. That's it, actually. So malchus b'shloshim malos, 30 event levels. Kulam esrim b'arba, 24. The Gemara to explain it. He says. So the Torah b'arbim mishmon. And 4 Torahs acquired with 48 things. The yeshiva, to spend time sitting, either means literally in a yeshiva or sitting and learning in general. The mikra, tanach, the derech eretz, with proper, either means proper midos, but probably means with making sure you have ample, sufficient parnasa. B'miut shena, diminishing your sleep. B'miut sicha, diminishing your conversations. B'miut schora, diminishing your commercial activities. B'miut schok, diminishing your laughter or entertainment. B'miut tanu, diminishing your pleasures. B'miut derech eretz, even though you have to have derech eretz, you diminish it. The Chaim says, so I'm not sure if that's the only reason, but one of the reasons is that you should not have that be out with people in the marketplace, place and involved with them. Berach hapayim, with patience or tolerance. The leiv tov, a good heart. Emunas chachamim, belief in the sages. Kabbalah Yitzhak, accepting difficulties. The Talmud, which is obviously learning Gemara in depth. Shmiras ozen, listening. Arichas osayim, in arranging your lips. The Meseches Chaim Kanievsky, he doesn't stutter when it comes to Torah. He speaks precisely with his language, tongue. The pen expresses them verbally. The Torah cannot be sustained unless one expresses them verbally. You see, life for those who give them out. Not for those who give them out. Or I guess the motziem not literally to those who find them. Those who find them, somebody who expresses it with his lips. So I always said that there's another issue here, which is that most yeshiva bachrim today, at least in America, I'm not there as well, are functionally illiterate in 3 languages. They're illiterate in Hebrew, illiterate in English, and illiterate in Yiddish. So that means that they have no language which they speak eloquently and articulately. And if you can't speak eloquently and articulately at least one language, then you're not going to understand things properly, because you won't be able to define and categorize them. You have to have a large repertoire of words and terms in order to define things. And I think that's really more arichas v'sayim. Bevinas alev, b'sichlus alev, says Rabbi Chaim. Lo yadati ma ben lezeh lezeh. Rashi says there's no differences between understanding of the heart and intelligence of the heart. The kima, rising, could be rising on time. Chacham could be rising in the morning. The yira, with fear. The chachma, with knowledge. Nava, with humility. The shimush chachamim, in the serving chachamim. Even chaverim, generating precision by one's learning in the Reb Chaim changes the kima over yira to be'ema over yira. So it's not kima but ema.
Okay.
Okay, and then he says that we had just now tikka chaverim lo made b'chabura. We're in a group with a pilpul chaburim. It says she powerful fun of that they should discuss things in front of him. The chachmu make him wiser. I mean, Talmud Yosem says I learned more from my students than all of my rabbi and my friends. Hamakis makomo, you have to recognize your place. Says the Reb Chaim, makomo kar l'tamim rayash mivin me'balacha. His place means the reasons and evidence that he brings in halacha. That is a shot in Rashi. Of course, obviously, one could learn it differently. It's a means you realistically assess who you are, not unrealistic. Asamech b'chalko, somebody who's happy in his portion, where he possesses. Osis yogdadvar, if somebody makes a fence around his words, the kind of session he understands what he's saying. When he doesn't understand what he's saying, he's vulnerable. In order to Sefaria have to understand what he's saying. That makes him, that's like a fence around his words. He doesn't pat himself on the back. He loves Hashem. He loves people who give him musar. He loves giving tzedakah. He loves being straight, no shtick. He does himself from honor. Does not pursue honor. He's not arrogant in his learning. He doesn't feel, he's not entertained by his paskin and shilas. I know what that feels like. When I was younger, one of my great pleasures in life was the illicit pleasure of going to a city's Erev and passing it. Not passing it manually, but rather finding it possible. So there was some great thrill in saying that a city's Erev is possible. I've outgrown that to a large extent. But that is sameach behara.
Okay.
In a negative way. And also, you bear the burden of your friend with him. As it says at the bottom, that if you're done chaver kavschus, mamil al emes, you point out to him the truth. Mamil al shalom, and work out any differences of opinion he has with you or with other people. But Misyashim and Talmudo, you carefully consider and deliberate when you learn. Time says, so maybe you should ask. You you ask questions, and respond to questions. This is Moshe's two separate things. One thing. Shomea, he Mosif. He says. Chaim says, Shomea divrei Rabbo Mosifa Avalo Histor divrei Rabbo. So he adds on to what his Rebbe says, not that he kind of undermines it. I'm a Chakimus Rabbo, somebody who makes his Rebbe wiser. I'm a Chaim Nishmoso, somebody who makes it says over what he learned precisely. He says in the bottom, Chaim Nishmoso, you have learned that things should not contradict each other. Omer Dover B'Shem almost somebody who says something in the name of the person who said it. Halamadata, we learn Shekol Omer Dover B'Shem Omra, anybody who says something in the name of his friend who said it, maybe the Guru Olam is them to the world Shem Arvatom Esther Melech Mordechai B'Shem Mordechai. So Esther told the king in the name of Mordechai. I think we can stop here for today.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, take care.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.